McKenna reveals she was in hospital for a week amid IVF battle after machete-wielding intruders burgled her UK home, as she details dangerous ovarian health condition. McKenna has revealed she was hospitalized for a week with a dangerous ovarian health condition, just days after her UK home was robbed. The former TOWIE star, 33, has opened up about how the stress of her IVF battle took a toll on her physical health, after being left terrified when machete-wielding intruders burgled her home. Meghan shared she and her husband Oliver Burke endured a difficult journey to conceive their son Landon, 21 months, and she was left in crippling pain when she was diagnosed with ovarian hyperstimulation syndrome, OHSS. The condition is caused by an overreaction to fertility drugs, which Meghan had been taking as part of the IVF process.
Looking for a premium phone without the premium price? This renewed, unlocked iPhone 14 offers 128 gigabytes of storage, a sharp 6.1-inch display, and 5G capability for around $299. Want to get the best verified deal and see full details? Visit grabdeal.us/6 right now.
Speaking on The Great Company with Jamie Lang podcast, Meghan shared she originally planned to freeze her eggs, but after undergoing tests, learned that her womb was really thin. She said, "I went through to a consultant and got checked and everything, and I had to have something put in my body to make my womb lining thick enough to basically hold an embryo." The former TOWIE star has opened up about how the stress of her IVF battle took a toll on her physical health, pictured during her time in hospital. "I could be doing it for as long as possible. I might have been doing it for a whole other year. I would never have got pregnant because my womb lining was too thin. So when I found that out, I thought, oh, okay. So I'm going through the process now of all the injections and everything to get my womb lining thicker. But then I also said to the man, I want to freeze my eggs. He said, you should freeze your embryo because there's more chance in your embryos surviving than your eggs. So I went through the whole process of it, and it's really intense. We had 16 eggs that thawed amazing, but then it went through to putting them with the sperm, literally just 2 worked, out of all these months. I was in hospital for a week because I got OHSS, which is hyperstimulation of your ovaries. It's really dangerous when they rupture. So I was being monitored, and oh my God, the pain. I felt like I was 6 months pregnant. It was just my ovaries were like huge. Like they scanned them and was like, whoa, you need to be admitted to hospital. This is dangerous. So all of this time, and then we found out we had 2. I was like, oh my God, I don't think I can go through that again. So I had to wait a little bit of time to let my body calm down because I had this situation, and then we had Landon put in, worked straight away because there's nothing actually wrong with my insides. It's just the outsides that needed to be fixed. Meghan shared she and her husband Oliver Burke endured a difficult journey to conceive their son Landon, and she was diagnosed with ovarian hyperstimulation syndrome, OHSS. Meghan revealed her hospitalization came just days after her UK home was robbed, saying, "It was hard because I'd just been robbed, so the stress was really on top of me. So I was going through therapy, and I was also going through a lot of pregnancy acupuncture to calm my body, and to get my body ready to have all these injections because I didn't want it to stop what I was doing. I wanted to still go through with the process even though this had happened to me. But maybe me getting ill with the OHSS happened for a reason because it kind of delayed me falling pregnant. When it did happen, I felt like I was in a bit of a better place." Meghan had previously revealed she and Oliver made a permanent move to Germany after the traumatic burglary at her UK home 2 years ago. She said, "I don't talk about this with a lot of people because I was worried and scared at the time because people were in prison for it, and when there was a trial going on, so I wasn't able to talk about it. I was robbed really badly in my own home. It scared me so much to be in the UK and to live in the UK on my own, because obviously Ollie's in Germany." She explained how after a holiday together Oliver had to return to Germany, leaving Meghan alone in her UK home with her dog. She fell asleep around 11 p.m. and then woke to find the house shaking. She said, "I was such a disorientated mess." I was like, what? And then I just knew that it was happening to me, and I was like, oh my God. I get goose pimples now thinking about it. They were inside my house, but I lock my bedroom door every night because I always worry about something happening to me when I'm on my own. The next thing I know, my mirror has come off my wall, and they're hacking a hole through my wall with a baseball bat. They're 3 masked men with machetes and baseball bats, and they managed to hack a hole in my wall because it was a fake wall going onto my dressing room, linked to my bedroom. A tearful Megan explained how she called the police and they arrived at her house within minutes. It was the longest 7 minutes I've ever experienced in my entire life, and the police were saying to me, don't speak to them. I said, I can hear they've got weapons. They're hacking my wall down, and they were like, we're on our way. And I was like, no, they're hacking my wall down. And they were like, please don't talk to them. Megan defied the police and said she told them if I don't go and talk to them and ask them what they want, they're going to come in and kill my dog. Adding that she was naked at the time and had cut her foot so there was blood everywhere, she then approached the men and he took her jewelry. I was talking to this man in a balaclava, and he grabbed my hand and he took jewelry off of me. Like I actually was holding hands with the robber, and they had a conversation outside the wall, and they made a phone call. I was shaking. And then I'm standing naked, and they just left with nothing else. She told the podcast that her home was obviously targeted. She added, I was like, I'm not safe in my own home. The police were amazing at the time, but I was then going through IVF to have her son, Landon, and they wanted me to go on trial. And I just said to them, like, I actually can't physically do that. They got caught, and then they went on trial, and then a year later they just got let out. They're just roaming the roads. Back in 2017, whilst she was starring on TOWIE, Megan was left totally traumatized after having her first home burgled. She returned from a night out at popular Essex venue Faces to find her flat ransacked by thieves who stole thousands of pounds worth of jewelry, designer handbags and sunglasses, as well as sentimental items. It was said at the time that Megan feared thieves found out where she lived after watching TOWIE, where she often filmed scenes at home. Megan has now quit reality TV and is pursuing a music career as well as working as a content creator from her Berlin home. Ovarian hyperstimulation syndrome, OHSS, can affect women undergoing IVF or other fertility procedures. It occurs when they take injectable hormones to stimulate the development of eggs in the ovaries. Too much hormone medication can cause the ovaries to become swollen and painful. In severe cases, it can lead to rapid weight gain, abdominal pain, vomiting, and shortness of breath. In rare cases, OHSS occurs after taking oral fertility treatments or even just spontaneously. Symptoms typically begin within 10 days of taking injectable medications. These symptoms often ease within a week without treatment. In around 1–2% of cases, OHSS can be life-threatening and lead to. Severe sufferers may require IV fluids in hospital and drugs to suppress their ovarian activity. Surgery may be necessary if an ovarian cyst bursts, as well as anticoagulants if clots have occurred. OHSS' exact cause is unknown, but is thought to be due to a hormone called HCG, which triggers the release of an egg. Ovarian blood vessels react abnormally to HCG and begin to leak fluid, which causes swelling that can move into the abdomen.